Love your job. Is that love? I love this job. I got to look at all of them. Tomorrow.
I know it's short up, but you don't want to hold this woman, but I need you to.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It is 6 o'clock. So the work session for mayor and council for November 2nd is called to order. Ms. Steed, can you do the roll call, please?
Yes, Mayor. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is called to order. Steve, can you do the roll call, please?
Councilwoman Kimberly James,
Present.
Councilman Dubas Anton.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Okay. Councilman Hector Gutierrez. Dubas Anton.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Okay. Councilman Gutierrez. Dubas Anton.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Councilwoman Latresa Aiken Wells.
I'm here.
And Councilman Alan Mears.
Here.
Okay,
Mayor,
I'm
you
sorry.
have the floor.
Is Councilman Gutierrez not present currently?
He was.
I didn't hear. All right. City managers report, Mr. Barker, you have the floor.
Yes, submit city manager report, and we're gonna refer the city manager report to our speakers from the city. The first speaker that's gonna speak is gonna be our director, Bruce Abram. Bruce, you have the floor.
Yeah, it's allowed to go.
You doing all right, brother?
I'm doing okay, man. Let's get up together. You speak. Somebody out there.
All right, Mr. Abraham, well, can we go on to the next person, please?
Bruce Abraham he's ready now.
Oh,
He's
okay,
walking toward the podium.
okay.
Welcome.
He's gonna have to get on somebody's Zoom because we can't hear him if he's speaking.
Are you presenting the map?
I gave her, yes,
Okay.
area of the properties, 3 properties.
Okay. Chris, you need to help me. So I
We're trying to
shared,
pull the map up. Can y'all hear me?
ask them, can they see the map? I shared it to them. They should be able to see the map.
Yes, we could see the map.
Okay.
Okay. Can they hear me?
Can you guys hear Bruce?
Yes, we can.
They can hear you, Bruce.
Well, good evening. If you can hear
What
me.
happens when this thing goes back to that? To that?
Related trick or treat. If you can all hear me, okay, I'm going to.
I'm sorry, the map is gone.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. Thank you. What's up, man?
All right, brother Jack.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to let you see it and have you see it as well.
Yeah, if I don't see it, I can describe.
They should be able to see it right here.
Okay, now we can see it.
They can see it.
Ready?
They can see
Okay.
it. and hear you.
Well, hello, everybody. Tonight,
Hello.
we'd like to talk about the tax allocation districts known as CADs. We met about this about a month and a half ago, I think, and talked about it in concept, and now I'm bringing back 3 tax allocation district projects to you for your approval. Just to refresh you, there's a tax allocation district that overlays Main Street and Fort Gillum, where the county collects a special tax, and that tax is sent back to the city. It is supposed to be used for economic development purposes, particularly for revitalization of old neighborhoods, for infrastructure, things that will stimulate growth in an area within the district. We've had 3 applications, been working on 3 projects up on Main Street. And I brought the folks tonight that are gonna work on these. But first, let me quickly describe them. The number one is you can't see the buildings, but on your left, there are 2 commercial buildings up there that we would like to remodel and use as an example of what the side should look like for the Main Street area.
You know what the password is for the Wi-Fi?
The second project, number 2, is an acre and a half on Main Street along the railroad tracks there. You see in yellow, where there's been a proposal to build 24 townhomes along there with green spaces. And the tax allocation money would be used to build a road behind there, connecting all that property on that property. The third piece is, it's not showing up in this, it's further to the right. It's what's known as the old mattress factory building out there, which is being renovated. And we would recommend that $50,000 be spent there to renovate the parking lot in a section of city sidewalk that was never built. Now, I have folks representing all three of these projects, and I would just like you to meet them quickly and let them quickly talk about why they would like to have this funding from the city. All of these are $50,000 projects in a CAD fund, and now there's supposed to be $350,000, so we're well within, the money that's been allocated to CAD. First is JoJo Starr. You may know JoJo, and he has something he'd like to talk to you about.
I actually have Jackie in the house today. Jackie, come up. I am a part owner in the gym, but it is Alex and Jackie. It is their kind of baby. So I'm going to let them I'm just here to connect dots. I know I've met a lot of you and I know a lot of you. So I'm going to pass it over to Alex because I'm not a public speaker. So I'm going to, not this is really public, but I'll let Alex take it.
Well, I'm from Clayton County. I grew up. Okay. I grew up in Riverdale, not too far away from Forest Park. And so JoJo reached out to me earlier this year about bringing a gym to the area, just as he's been trying to do as much as he can to get to Forest Park. So my wife and I, Jackie, we have already bought 2 houses in Forest Park this year. We're like pretty committed to the area. We've met a few of the council people here. I think we're in Councilman Antoine's district, so we would love to invite all of you guys. I think we're about 2 weeks away from being finished with the full renovation. We want to do things in the community like tournaments. The Stumptown Youth Football Association is right next door to us. Some of those guys have been in the community for a really long time already, so just trying to bring the gym to that area and get involved with the youth that are already like in that neighborhood is just something that we're doing. So that's what we would really be trying to do with this money.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jacqueline Faith, and as they mentioned, I am part owner of the gym that we are opening in Forest Park. And so all I really want to say is we have a passion for people, health and fitness, and we see this as an opportunity to bring high quality gym access, high quality training to this community. We have chosen to plant our roots here. As my husband mentioned, we've purchased 2 properties in the Forest Park area, and we're actively seeking to bring more people into Forest Park. And so far, as we have endeavored to remodel this gym, we have had so much energy from people within the community. A lot of excitement around everything that we have shared with folks. And so we are seeking these funds so that we can further our vision, right? And that is to promote health and wellness and to create a space for people to come and feel at home and seek their personal health journeys along with us. So we thank you for taking the time to consider Atlas Strength and Conditioning as a recipient of this fund. It will do a lot of good in terms of enabling us to provide this to the community. And we are, we're new entrepreneurs. This is our first endeavor in opening a business, and in doing so, we've run into all kinds of things that make entrepreneurship difficult for a lot of people, namely unexpected expenses. We had to put in a ramp so that we could be ADA compliant, and a number of other things that we could not have possibly anticipated. So in light of that, to the tune of about $15,000 or $20,000 that we didn't expect. So we're not independently wealthy. We are investing our life savings in making our dreams and passion a reality so that we can share it with the community. So again, thank you very much for hearing us and for your consideration as we are seeking to be recipients of some of this funding.
Next, if you're still there, I can't see you up there, but Rob Franks proposes to build 24 townhomes over on Main Street. As I told you, he's going to build a road behind these. and related utilities. So Rob would like to just briefly describe the project to you. Briefly. Good evening. I'm Rob Franks. I'm here obviously to represent the potential townhouses on Main Street. What we're looking to do is we're looking to bring in 24 units. We originally started with more units than that, but we actually went back and added some additional green space, et cetera, because we felt like it gave a better product. So the short version is, like I said, we're looking to actually do 24 units. There'll be 4 units per building. They'll have rear alleyway access. And what the money would be used for would be to help out in the rear alleyway as well as underground infrastructure. Because obviously, you know, there was buildings there before, but today we've got to go back and re-engineer everything to create, you know, the structures that we plan to build. So, like I said, the underground utilities, rear alley, that's what the money will be used for. So I appreciate you taking time to consider the project. Oh, okay, that's right. You already mentioned that, but yes. 50,000 is what we're asking for. Of course, it's going to cost us far more than that. What you told us? Our total investment, we are figuring we got 24 units. Our total investment is going to be about 150,000 a unit by the time they're finished. So, I mean, we're looking to sell these 175,000, 180,000. Just our groundwork, though, we're estimating our groundwork to be in the neighborhood of 25,000 per unit, just raw cost. So we're looking at about a $600,000 to $700,000 investment just in the horizontal part of the development. Okay, thank you.
And so I'm sorry, Bruce, I have a question. Is that Rob Franks from Franks and White?
It is.
And so, sir, are you guys making the investment or you have a investor?
No, actually, I'm working with an investor that's going to actually build the project themselves.
Okay. Thank you.
Who's done this in Morrow? Okay. Rob's builder has done a similar project in Morrow, Georgia, and has been interested in coming into Forest Park. And our third requestor is Lois Wright with the Development Authority. We have hired a person, a consultant, to look at rebuilding the front of these 2 buildings out there in Main Street. They're across from the old theater. And we're estimating the project's probably $150,000 project. And Lois would like to help to use some CAD fundings to the esteemed Lois Wright.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I'm here to ask for some TAD money for the Development Authority for the project that Frank, with Frank and Rob Franks and White. That's one of our projects with the Authority as well. But the 2 incubators, we have the 2 buildings over on Main Street, which we have made incubators to the Development Authority. Those are properties that we'll keep and we'll watch entrepreneurs come in and out and grow from that place. But I need at least $150,000 to put a new face on those buildings to represent what we want Main Street to look like. We, like Bruce said, we had already hired a surveyor and an architect, which we should be meeting with next week with some plans as how we want it to look. And it's, like I said, it's going to run us $150,000, and the Development Authority is going to put the other remaining $100,000. But if you guys give us a little more than 50, we'll take that too. But that's we really can use the money because that's going to set the pace and the course for Main Street. The planning, and it's going to be real nice. It's going to be the parking lot, and in between, it's going to be a real nice area that be inviting to the people, and it'll represent Main Street and the flow with what we want on Main Street. So thank you very much.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I just want to, for the record, Councilman Gutierrez joined us at 6:17.
And I have a couple of questions, Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Bruce, as far as the property, are all these properties, I know the Development Authority property is in the hands of the Development Authority, but lots 2 and lots 3, they are privately owned at this point now. Is that right?
She said lots 2 and 3 are privately owned.
In this project, what you're talking about, where the townhomes are being built,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
that you have as item number 2?
That land is owned by the development authority and it's being purchased by private development who will build those townhomes.
Okay, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The other piece that JoJo talked about is down the street. I can't see it on this map. I know we outlined it, but it's.
Yeah, we have it. You put it in our package. We have it in our package.
That again, that is not owned by development authority. But that is a private development, which add money can be applied to private developments to stimulate the growth of the area.
Okay, and don't leave. I have a couple more questions for you. So I know that there's funds in the development authority. So I'm just wondering, I know Ms. Wright mentioned 150,000 additional funds needed to do the improvement, but I'm questioning the money that is in the development authority's budget right now. Do they have a budget to make some improvements instead of using the TAD monies?
I would have to refer to Ken on that. I saw Ken's face in here somewhere. Ms. Wright says that she does. Ken? There's a question about the assets of the development authority.
Okay, so there's approximately $100,000 has in their funds right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that number.
What did you guys are saying up there? Would you say again, please?
There's approximately 8,000.
Is that 800,000?
Correct.
They're able to hear. It's hard to hear because of the system. They're able to hear because they're on iPad.
Okay, and so is there a budget that's allotted for the development authority for funds that they have?
So the development authority heretofore has not had a formal budget, but we are in the process of working with the development authorities to create a budget this year.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
If I may, Mayor.
Yes.
This is a very routine way that cities can stimulate growth, particularly in areas that.
I like to see in your mouth.
And so we're asking $150,000. It would work that you would bless the money for these 3 projects, individual projects. We would form a contract with these 3 folks, and then they would build the projects, and the Economic Development Department would inspect and supervise them, and then they would bring their invoices to us to be paid for the TAD money, go back to Ken with the receipts and the proof of the work done.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, thank you. Mr. Barker, is there anyone else presenting?
Yes, I get the next person up would be Mr. James Shelby.
All right, Mr. Shelby, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, good evening. How's everyone this evening?
Well, thank
If
you.
you give me a minute, I'm going to share my screen. I gave everybody a copy of the capital projects that we've been working on. And let's see.
I'm about to make you host, Mr. Shelby. So you
Okay
can
then. Give me a second here.
Okay.
I just made you know, so you're able to share your screen now.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, James, it's Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Hey, what you can do, unshare your screen, and the screen that you, when you reshare, share the one that says Word.
Share the one that says Word?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got it. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
So what I wanted to do is give you a briefing on the capital projects that we've been working on with the city manager's office. And many of these projects you are familiar with, but they've just been on the books for quite some time. And our goal is to bring these projects to fruition. We want to bring them from the talking to actual brick and mortar projects. And so the first project that we're looking at is Star Park Sports Complex. And if you recall, the city commissioned a plan for Star Park. So there is a master plan for Star Park. But there also has been conversations with the Parks and Rec director about a sports complex. And again, these are just, we bring these things to your attention tonight so we can discuss them. But the sports complex will be over in Fort Gillem on property that the city already owns. And so we're estimating that project to be around $12 million. And keep in mind that Star Park master plan would be about $12 million by itself. But with the sports complex and Star Park, some of the activities that are located in Star Park now will move over to the sports complex. So we're not really increasing the estimated cost for the project itself. This project, monies have been allocated for this project out of the 2008, the 2015 to 2020 SPLOST, and it's also allocated for $2.2 million in the 2021 SPLOST. And when you add all that up, that would leave a balance of about 4.6 million. And one of the things that we're doing is not only looking at the potential sources that we already have on the books, but we're also looking at other funding sources out there, maybe federal, state funds that we can use, grants that we can use for these projects as well. So I want you to keep that in mind as we go through these projects, that these are not the only fundings that we're looking at. And then the next project is the public safety building. And everybody knows the site there on Forest Parkway. I think it's 330 Forest Parkway. And while we were looking at it, we decided that perhaps maybe we could build a city hall with the public safety building. The public safety building not only will house the police headquarters, city hall in the middle, and on the other side would be the main fire station. And we're estimating that that project is going to cost around $20 million. And right now we have allocated $100,000 from previous SPLOST to take care of incidentals, for example, to get us started with the assessments for the three buildings, the three entities that we just spoke about. And in the 2021 SPLOST, we have about $1.8 million that we can contribute to those projects, to that project, and that would leave us with a balance of about 18 million. The next project is a project that's already funded. It's called the Public Safety Building in Fort Gillem. And I don't know if many of you all have been to the existing fire station there, but it is in very deplorable condition. And the fire chief can speak to that himself. It needs to be replaced, not renovated. And we're estimating that cost to be 1.8 million. It could be that once we get into the design of the building, we can probably get it done for 1.4 million. But if not, then we're going to need an additional $400,000 in order to make that project work for us. And I'm sure everyone is familiar with the phase 2 of Main Street, the streetscape. We estimate that project is going to be about $7 million. We already have funding from previous SPLOST of 3.4 million or 3.5 million. And in the 2021 SPLOST, there is about $2 million allocated for that project. And in the TAD, there's about 900,000. And of course, Bruce took 150,000 of that tonight. And so that's gonna leave us with 750,000. We will probably have to issue a bond for 606,000. Now I am working with the previous contractor. It's a possibility that we can get this project done with the funds that we have already on the books. So as soon as I can get the documents with the previous contractor, then we'll see if we can't reduce that cost for us as well. And then you've had several briefings on the Aerotropolis Mall Mile project. It's going to be a very interesting project because it's going to start downtown on Main Street around Lake, and it's going to end up at the farmer's market. And I got these numbers previously from the contractor that's working on the project, and it's going to cost about 4.7 million or 4.8. And then finally, once we move the fire station number 1 will now go to 330 Forest Parkway, and we will need to rehab the building, the number 1 fire station over on Jonesboro Road, which will now become fire station number 2. And we're allocating about $2 million for that project. And the good thing about that project is that we can fully fund that with the SPLOST money that we're getting in the 2021 budget. So altogether, these projects are gonna cost around 28 million or $29 million to build. We've been meeting weekly on all of these projects. And we have come to the point now where we are able to perhaps get started on the projects, especially Star Park and the Phase 2 Main Street. We have contracts that we're working on with 2 architects that we're gonna hire to help us with these projects. We've already done an RFP to select these 2 architects to assist with these projects. As a matter of fact, they will help us with all of these projects. And thanks to Mr. Jeter, we will have a contract we will have a contract manager that would assist us in handling all these projects to make sure that they come on time and within the budget that we've allocated here. So we just want to bring this to your attention and answer any questions that you might have on these projects. But again, most of these projects are already on the books. It's just that they're on the books and we want to move them to fruition.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Yes, ma'am. I have a couple of questions.
Yes, ma'am.
So Director Shelby, on the public safety building at Gillum, is that a historical site where you can only do the inside and not the outside?
Yes, ma'am, you're absolutely right. That is a historical building. I don't think it's on the historic register. I think it's not a land, we don't have a landmark here in Forest Park. I think you would have to get permission in order to do the outside of the building, but the interior of the building we can do it.
Okay, so this project is basically the interior of the building?
No, ma'am, we're looking to build a brand new building on property. Yes, ma'am, because that building is not conducive for a fire station.
Okay.
It was in its day, but not now. It's just
right. Okay, so I'm just wondering, because I don't understand, quote, let me back up. She told me I'm too close to the camera. I don't understand, quote, the historic building and what that actually means. I thought at one point it meant that you couldn't touch the outside of the building. It had to stand that way. Is that true?
That's true. So Councilman James, we're looking at a brand new building, not that building. We're not renovating that building at all.
Okay,
we're going to build a brand new building on one of the sites that are located out in Gillum.
Okay, perfect. Okay, my second.
Yeah, go on.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, we think we can build it for around 1.8 because we've seen other fire stations recently that have been built for less. And it's going to be a one bay with a precinct for the police, but it's just going to be an office space for the police officers to be there.
Okay. And do you think we will continue to maintain that building, the one that we can't really use right now for the fire station, or will that be on the market for someone else to kind of take over?
I think Director Bruce Abraham has someone that wants to buy the main building, the administration building, and all the other buildings would be as an option. And that building would be part of the option.
Okay. All right. And then my second question has to do with Star Park, the master plan.
Yes, ma'am.
In the sports complex. I don't seem to recall the sports complex. And so I would want to have that master plan that we approve to just come back before the council so we can kind of get a refresher as to what that master plan encompasses. I know it's Star Park over here. And I know we had some back and forth conversations about something going over in Gillum, but I didn't know we made a decision or not. So if I mean, we don't have to discuss it tonight, but I would like to come back before the council.
Okay, we can come back. I don't know if Director Maxwell is there or not, but we'll come back and give you a briefing on his plans for the sports complex.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make sure that happens.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? If not, all right, thank you, Mr. Shelby.
You're welcome.
Mr. Shelby, can you make me back host, please?
Yes.
You know,
All right, Mr. Barker, is there anyone else presenting?
Your right click City of Forest Park where it says participants.
Okay, right click on Forest Park.
Yeah. Actually, I'll just come to you and do it. It's okay. You have to see what's in me.
Yes, Mayor, there's someone that's speaking.
Okay.
At this time, we'll have the fire chief come in and give a presentation.
All right.
Hear me? Good evening. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good evening. I'm Don Horton. I'm the main honor to be the fire chief. I'm here for a couple of things. First of all, you have in front of you a copy that the fire department EMA provided you Tropical Storm Zeta response. As you know, last week, Tropical Storm Zeta started in the Gulf of Mexico. They grew into a strong Category 2 hurricane before making landfall on the Louisiana coastline. I'm here to say Forest Park EMA identified the potential of such a storm and set out to minimize, I should say, the impact of the storm, excuse me, on the residents and essential employees of the city of Forest Park. Through a cooperative effort between fire, police, and public works, I commend those department heads. We intended to mitigate hazards that they were reported without placing our own people in significant harm's way. The goal was to quickly and efficiently mitigate hazards that were reported across the city and activate necessary resources such as power, phone, and cable companies to minimize downtime and services. This activation also included assisting public works with determination of down trees being safe to cut so that they could keep roadways clear and functional. Key tasks in this endeavor were safe and efficient responses, proper hazard identification, adequate mitigation efforts, notification of appropriate entities, rapid restoration recovery. Acceptable standards for success, we believe, were responses to and from incidents without vehicle collision, exclusion of non-essential personnel in the public from hazardous situations, hazard identification, notification of appropriate entities. What you have in front of you at your leisure, I hope that you have time to review this document and that we give you exactly a brief summary on our response to mitigation of recovery from Hurricane Zeta. Also, this document into detail, I should say, some of the gaps that we found in our response. We did not list everything, and I believe a week ago I had an opportunity to stand in front of this body to talk about my concerns as relate to emergency management. Today, I still remain frustrated. We have a family of plans, and we're going to put that up in front of you if you can see it. And we quite simply, I need your help that we can get you. The way the EMA is set up today is a part-time position. I'm here to tell you that's not going to work. A part-time position with long-term effects won't get this city where it needs to be. On the way over here tonight, I had an opportunity to leave my headquarters. And as I headed towards City Hall, I was stopped by a train that had tanks loads of sodium hydrochloride and simple term bleach. And I looked at the hazards associated with it. What would happen if we had a spill? Are we practicing a response? Do we have evacuation routes in the city? Do we have shelter, American Red Cross? Do we have a family of plans which you have in front of you? I implore you and I ask you as the fire chief that we look at the EMA long term and try to accommodate and meet some of the needs of the city in emergency management. Any questions? And one more thing.
Questions or comments? Yes.
One more thing, if I could, I'll be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to thank James Shelby, Jeter, and Public Works on their work with the fire station. I don't know, I don't have an adjective to describe what I found in our fire station. The other part, the fire equipment is deplorable. And I stand ashamed at times to see my firefighters going in those types of properties. We had leaking fire stations. We work with Public Works to address those issues. We had mold and we worked with Mr. G to address. So I'll digress from that at the moment, but it would be remiss as the fire chief if I didn't have concerns to let you know where we were with our fire station and our fire equipment.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
I don't have a question. I just have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd just like to say thank you so much, Chief. Like, I'm just going through the information that you have given us, and it is exceptional. I mean, just the details. I mean, it's great. So thank you for being proactive, and really being hands-on. I really, really appreciate that, and I'm sure the citizens do as well.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I want to say, I don't have a copy of what you're talking about, but whatever you need, Chief Horton, please, because I think Councilman Mears can attest, our fire department has been in some need for quite a while. So if you want to come back with us with positions that you think should be full-time, I'm sure this council would agree to give you whatever you need. We're ready to move our city forward and to make sure our residents and our city is safe. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Barker, is there anyone else?
No, Mayor. At this time, that concludes City Manager report.
Thank you. Major Turner, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council. Good evening. Everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Very good. Well, as most have probably seen in the news in the past few days, the trend of daily positives in the COVID-19 situation is again on the rise. However, the current daily positive rate within the state still remains about 9.4% overall, which is the same as a week ago. So as a state, we are still holding our own. On a county level, our daily positive rate is 12.6%, and although higher than the state overall average, it is also the same as a week ago. So as a county, we're doing well as well. The most recent numbers from the Clayton County Health District, which I just received prior to this meeting, were a total number of 932 cases in the Forest Park zip code. But that only equates to approximately 8 active cases currently within the incorporated areas of Forest Park. We are continuing to monitor the fire department for internal impact of the COVID virus as we respond to requests for assistance throughout the city. It is not too late to get a flu shot, as I have said in weeks past. Excuse me, this will help in reducing the number of respiratory infections as the weather turns cooler, and tonight is a prime example of that. The vaccination is typically covered by most major medical providers, insurance providers, and is available through most pharmacies and professional medical providers. We are still encouraging everyone to follow good personal hygiene practices, washing hands frequently, use of hand sanitizer when washing is not possible, observing social distancing of at least 6 feet, and the wearing of masks in situations where social distancing cannot be maintained. That concludes what I have for a COVID report. I would like to add that for those interested, our firefighter who was injured 3 weeks ago in the ambulance crash over near the hospital was able to go home Friday. He does still have a brace in place. He does still have many, many weeks of physical and occupational therapy before him, but he is determined to reach a full recovery and is working hard toward that end. So I thought everyone would be interested to know that he has gone home from the hospital, and we as a fire department family are seeking out ways that we can assist him now that he is at home, both getting him to and from appointments as well as making sure that his other family members are cared for. So we'd be glad to entertain any questions if you have.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
Mr. Turner, I just wanted to be clear. Did you say there are only 8 active cases in Incorporated Forest Park?
Yes, ma'am. There are 8 that we're aware of currently. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you, Major Turner.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Councilman Gutierrez, you have the floor, sir.
They're gonna share the pictures.
Yes, Remington, can you share his pictures, please?
Well, hello, everybody. Just, I guess I'll explain myself. I was a little late. I was on the phone with Gas South. I forgot to pay my gas, got busy doing other stuff. So they then disconnected it. So if anybody has a connection with Gas South, because they're saying they're gonna connect it on Sunday, I might need a couch to crash on because my wife is pretty upset at me right now, to say the least. Anyway, this is Mr. Sanchez, his yard. This is me here giving him our Home Depot gift card. His yard is just amazing. And this is another picture of it. Is that the only picture we have?
It looks like there's another one.
Yep, that one. That's the side view, but everything is done. I talked to him to see if he can give me some tips on how to do everything, but he does it himself. I asked him if he had any like people that did it, and he just does everything himself. So it's a beautiful yard. They've been in the city for about 20 years and just fixing their house. So it was really nice to talk to them and just encourage them to keep keeping their yard up to date. So shout out to them. Sorry about the video. My editing skills aren't as good as Miss James. Next time I'll see if I can bring her out with me.
Oh, that was it. Sorry.
All right. Is that it, sir?
That's it for me. Can we not put this picture of me on there? I look like, I don't know what's going on there. Just put, let's enjoy the other view.
All right, thank you. So the remaining agenda items for tonight are as follows. Item 1, discussion of funding the Tax Allocation District or TAD project. Background and summary. The Economic Development Department requests funding for 3 projects on Main Street from Tax Allocation District funds. The TAD funds are collected in the specifically designated district and must be redistributed within the district to support revitalization and development. The 3 projects, which include 1, remodeling of buildings, 2, construction of an access road, and 3rd, construction of a sidewalk and parking lot / public thoroughway. The request is for $50,000 per project for a total request of $150,000. Project funding, inspection, and billing will be managed by the Economic Development Department. Upon authorization of funding from council, the project funding will be awarded through a public agency designated by council. The Economic Development Department will report to council upon completion of projects. And this is what Mr. Abraham spoke on earlier. But is there any other discussions, questions, or comments on this item?
I'm excited about it. I just kind of want to know, I guess, what would the time frame be once we do get approved this?
Okay. Mr. Abraham? Is he there?
Yes.
Okay, Councilman Gutierrez was wondering, the time frame from once this is approved to when the projects will get started.
The mattress factory would start immediately. They're in the process of construction now. The development authority facade remodeling would start once the contract would be let. We've got an architect now, as Lois told you, and we'll start talking to contractors, and so that should be within a month plus. Third, the townhomes, as soon as Rob has already negotiated his deal on this property, and as soon as you got a long closer on this. As soon as he can close the property, then that will be the first work, is to grade the sites and put this road in. So that, I think he's got a couple of months to close this property. So as soon as they have control of the property here, they will begin.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions or comments?
Yeah, maybe a nice sign up there would be, you know, something up and coming to get the people excited.
Okay, thank you. Item 2, discussion on the confirmation of Planning, Building, and Zoning Director. Mr. Barker?
He has stepped away, so you may want to skip this one.
Okay, well, it is going to be recommended that Mr. James Shelby be appointed into that position. Is there any discussion or comments?
I think it's excellent. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I concur.
It's been long overdue. I guess it's my comment. Just I'm glad he's full-time with us now, and thank you for everything you've done with us on a, you know, I guess, city official basis, Mr. Shelby.
Yeah, I would like to second that. Thank you so much for all you've done. I feel like this is great for the city of Forest Park. So thank you so much, and congratulations in advance.
Appreciate that.
Item 3, discussion of a resolution requesting the Clayton County to introduce legislation pertaining to the appointment and removal of Development Authority members. Background and summary. In 2018, the council requested legislation be introduced to the General Assembly, which would create removal provisions for Development Authority members similar to those in state law for the URA. The legislation was introduced but did not get passed. This resolution would urge the delegation to reintroduce the same legislation. Is there any questions or comments on this item?
I'll just make a quick comment on it. I do remember when we brought this legislation to the delegation, and it had a lot to do with, prior to me coming on board in this position as a council member, and some of the things that transpired. I guess you call it lame duck. I don't know what you call it when someone is going out of office. Yeah. And you know, we were not able to do anything about it at that time. I just think it's a good idea to have the same powers for us as a council as it applies to all boards.
Yes, ma'am. All right, items 4 through 9. Councilwoman James, item 4, discussion of, I'm sorry.
Madam Mayor, I am going to ask that all these items be tabled, and I will pick it up for discussion at next meeting.
Okay. Well, let's see. With that, there are no other items on the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn the work session?
Madam Mayor, do we have time to go into executive session, or should we wait until because it is like 10 minutes till 7?
Yes, if you think we could get it done in 8 minutes, according to my clock, then we can, or we can do it during our regular meeting.
I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn our work session.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, that was Councilwoman Wells. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's do a roll call. Councilwoman James,
Aye.
Councilman Antoine,
Aye.
Councilman Gutierrez.
Sorry, I was
Councilman-
on mute. Present.
Okay. We are, this is a motion to go adjourn the work session.
Aye.
Thank you, Councilman Mears. Councilwoman Wells
Aye.
and Councilman Gutierrez, is that an aye?
He's muted.
Oh, okay.
Gutierrez.
Yeah, I said aye, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right. Well, we will
Sorry.
have our regular meeting in 7 minutes. Thank you all.
did that? It's because they was trying to run a north. The Development Authority at the time. So they created the Downtown Development Authority in 2018 to shut it down. And that came through the county. So she really knows terminology what she's talking about. As to what needs to be had.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you. It is 7 p.m. The regular meeting for mayor and council for November 2nd is called to order. Councilman Mears, can you do tonight's invocation? All
Yes,
those who
ma'am.
are able to stand, can you please do so and then remain standing throughout the Pledge of Allegiance?
I don't have a flag. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
look, you can see mine. There you go.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today thanking you for your love and all the many blessings you have given us. Be with us during this meeting, guide each one of us so that we make decisions that are pleasing to you.
Yes.
We thank you for all we have. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your son, Jesus Christ. All these things we asked in your name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Ms. Steed, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kimberly James,
Present.
Councilman DeBose Antoine,
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Councilman Hector Gutierrez,
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Councilwoman Latresa Akins Wells, excuse me.
Here.
And Councilman Alan Mears.
Here.
Madam Mayor, you have a quorum.
Excellent, thank you. All right, there are no additions or deletions at this moment. Item 6, adoption of the minutes from October 26th, our special called meeting. Has everyone?
Actually, Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
we didn't get those minutes yet, so we do need to delete that from the agenda for today.
Well,
You can just table those.
we could table them.
So moved.
Is he on here?
I'll second.
Okay, I think that was Councilman Mears who wanted to
Mears.
table. Okay, was that a second?
Yes, I second.
Oh, thank you. Any discussion? All right, roll call. Councilwoman James,
Yes.
Councilman Antoine,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells,
Yes.
and Councilman Mears.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 1, approval of the funding for the tax allocation district project. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So move.
I'll
That-
second.
Wait, that's Councilwoman Wells made the motion, Councilwoman James second. Any further discussion? All right, roll call. Councilwoman James,
Yes.
Councilman Antoine,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells,
Yes.
and Councilman Mears.
Yes.
Thank you. That was unanimous. Item 2, approval on the confirmation of our planning, building, and zoning director, Mr. James Shelby. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
That's
I'll second.
Councilwoman James second. Any further discussion? Councilwoman James,
Yes.
Councilman Antoine,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells,
Yes.
and Councilman Mears.
Yes.
Thank you. That was unanimous. Item 3, approval of a resolution requesting the Clayton County to introduce legislation pertaining to the appointment and removal of Development Authority members. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So move.
That was Councilwoman James. Is there a second?
I second.
That was Councilwoman Wells. Any further discussion? All right, roll call. Councilwoman James,
Wait a minute, you moved
Yes.
too fast.
Oh,
As far as
Okay.
the discussion, so this is like, because I kind of remember us talking about it. I just want to be clear. So this would mean the council could remove whoever they wanted to remove at any time?
For calls.
For calls, only for calls.
Okay.
So it would have to be something that the Development Authority members bring to the council.
Okay.
Right, Mike, is that correct?
That's correct. It wouldn't necessarily have to be something that's brought to the council by Development Authority members, but if you became aware of any reason why a change needed to occur, then you, as a council, could initiate a process which requires a hearing, notice, and then the right for the individuals to defend themselves. And to be clear, this would be an amendment to the state statute, and if passed, it would apply to all development authorities statewide. This is not just limited to Forest Park. So it would just like we have removal provisions for the URA members, this would be essentially the same type process.
Would this be the same for both boards?
Well, the URA
No, I'm sorry, the DDA and the DA.
The legislation as introduced was primarily for the development authority at the time, and you could have some, very exact same provisions for the DDA if that's the will of council. We would just have to modify it and ask them to apply it to all forms of development authorities.
Okay, that's what I would suggest. Thanks, Mike.
So do I need to restate the motion, Mike?
Yeah, if that's the will of council, then you can withdraw your motion and then you would move to approve this with a modification that it would apply to all statutory development authorities.
I so move what you just said.
Well said, Kim.
I second. Oh, we already, okay, yes, I second.
Mayor, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay, so we had the motion, we had a second. Any further discussion? All right, if none, Councilwoman James?
Yes.
Councilman Antoine?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez? Councilwoman Wells?
Yes.
And Councilman Mears?
Yes.
Thank you, that was unanimous. There are no public comments. And at this time, closing comments before we go into executive session. Councilwoman James?
Just thank you so much for coming out and participating in our meeting tonight. Want to give a big shout to our Parks and Recs department and all other departments, fire, police, and public works and everything for the awesome weekend we had this weekend. We had our Pink Panther Walk, which was awesome. We had our Fall Festival, which is awesome. Big shouts to Councilman Gutierrez on the first Mexican holiday that we celebrated, the Day of the Dead, which is very good. I got some good food. Didn't get my face painted, didn't get a chance to, but it was just a great time to celebrate with the city of Forest Park. So thanks to all the department heads and everybody that participated. And thanks to the residents that showed up.
Thank you, Councilman Antoine.
No comment.
Okay, Councilman Gutierrez.
Yes, just thank you, everybody. Just to echo Councilwoman James coming out to the celebrations. I had fun at the Pink Panther Walk. I was up late Friday, but I still made it. I was ready since last week, honestly. But it was really nice. It was a beautiful story, especially having one of our employees be a survivor and her be there. It was just very powerful. So thank you, Mayor, and our city again, Parks and Rec, our police department, our firefighters, everybody. Just thank you so much for doing all this for our citizens. And I'm definitely thankful, and I know our governing body is as well. After that, we had the Fall Festival was a hit. if you weren't there, then you'll catch it next year. But that was really fun. It was a lot of activities, a lot of our people out, people wearing masks, everybody social distancing. So everybody, thank you for coming out to those events that we're putting on for you in our city. Sunday, we had the celebration of the Day of the Dead. So we celebrating the Mexican holiday. I learned a lot from it. I'm not of Mexican heritage, but I know a lot of our population is. Thank you for the elected officials that were out there celebrating with the people. And yeah, just now with the cold, I really want to make sure everybody's staying warm. And I have noticed just the homelessness problem. I really want to hold our county accountable. We do have our only shelter is here in Forest Park. So maybe the people that are there at night, then throughout the day, they don't have anywhere to go. I really would like, I'm going to bring this up to our city manager. What can we do to address this? Because it's a problem. And I just, with this cold and these weathers, I know last year at some point, I remember something being brought up about some heating stations from Councilman Wells. I think we need to do something, because they're as well, the homeless population, and seeing what we have to offer them. So hopefully getting maybe somebody from the county out here with some resources, or seeing what we can do, because it breaks my heart to see our people out there like that. So that's that. God bless y'all. Thank you, Mears, for that prayer. Thank you, City, for tuning in, and congratulations to Director Shelby. Thank you, Mayor, for laughing at my comments.
I wasn't laughing at you.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But thank you, everybody.
Okay.
All right, Councilwoman Wells.
Just like to say thank you to all of our directors for doing such an amazing job. Thank you to Tariq for putting on such a great event. I apologize I couldn't be there. I was with my family in Tampa, celebrating my cousin's life. His school did something for him, so I apologize, because other than that, I would have been there. And thank you so much, Councilman Gutierrez, for all that you're doing in the community to bring the community together as well. And just to let the people know that Wellness with Wells will be happening tomorrow from 6 to 7 at the park. So the admission is only $5. There's a limited amount of space because we have to practice our social distance, but this will go on on every second Tuesday of the month until January, the second Tuesday in January. So I hope to see you all there. Other than that, thank you all for joining us tonight, and hope you have a blessed night. Oh, and the money is going to El Malone Fitness. He's a personal trainer. He does the stepping classes, 15-year experience. So the $5 admission will go to him, not to Councilwoman Wells.
All right, Councilman Mears.
Yes, I'd like to thank our Public Works team for the wonderful job they done in the park Saturday. I'd like to thank our fire department, police department for the way they handled the storm and the storm damage. And I just think that we're well blessed by having such an intense group of people looking after our safety. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I am going to swear in Mr. Shelby. No, we'll go in the.
And Madam Mayor,
yes,
while you do that, Councilman Mears, you had me take those pictures and you didn't even say anything about your.
Well, can I back up? Can I back up and
yes.
rechew my cabbage on that, please? And can we see the pictures of the high school that Miss Kimberly took? Can we bring those back up?
Yes, let me get it up for you.
Anyway, in lieu of being whatever, I visited the high school, and I took being on the Booster Club. All my kids and everybody went through the school over there, and I was president of Booster Club, and I went by and made a small donation to the football team, basketball, girls and boys, to the athletic department. There's coach's discretion on that money. I know they have pregame meals, and there's a lot of things. It wasn't that whole much, but it was maybe help them, each one of them, have a little extra money to do something that they feel like that they don't get from the county. And I had a real good time over there. The school's beautiful and I was glad to do it. Thank you.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah, I
Thank
have
you for that.
one more thing too. I forgot to
Yes.
mention. Thank you so much, Councilman Mears. I'm sure the boys appreciate it. I do want to thank everyone that contributed towards the boys' uniforms. Thank you so much, Councilman Gutierrez and everybody, because it took a community effort. So we raised $3,105. So 105 over what we initially wanted to get for our boys to have new uniforms. So thank you to everyone in the community, elected official, department head, everyone that contributed to that. It takes a village and you all were that village. So thank you.
When's their first game, Councilwoman Wells?
November the 13th.
All right. Mr. Shelby, are you ready to be sworn in? All right. If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I, James Shelby,
I, James Shelby,
solemnly swear or affirm
solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Georgia,
and of the state of Georgia,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances
and ordinances
of the City of Forest Park,
City of Forest Park.
and I will well and truly perform the duties of the Office of Planning, Building, and Zoning,
of the Office of Planning, Building, and Zoning,
and that I will,
and I will,
to the utmost of my skill and ability,
to the utmost of my skill and ability,
endeavor to promote the interest and property
interest and property
of said city without fear, favor, or affection. So help me God. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Yes. Okay, and then I do want to add Clayton Cares. They have a coronavirus relief fund for eligible small businesses. You can apply online at claytoncares.claytoncountyga.gov from today, starting today through Friday, November 13th. I'll get a clean flyer and we can post on our website. And if there is not anything else, is there a motion to recess the regular meeting and enter into an executive session for personnel, litigation, real estate, or legal matters?
So move.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
I've heard Councilwoman Wells, Councilwoman James,
Aye.
Councilman Mears. All right, Councilman Gutierrez. All right, thank you. And we shall return.
Executive session.
Motion, they're about to come in here. Second, 7:17. Yeah.
Are you unmuting everybody?
Oh, I thought they can be, oh, let me see.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn the executive session and reconvene into a regular meeting?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman James. Is there a second?
A second.
I heard Councilwoman Wells. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Thank you. I heard,
Kevin. Aye.
Gutierrez is muted.
oh, okay.
Talking about myself. I'm sorry, y'all. Aye.
Thank you. All right. Now, there was a matter that was discussed in executive session that we are going to vote on today. And Mike, can you please state the motion?
A motion would be in order to terminate the city manager for cause under the terms of his contract and to designate Shalonda Brown as the interim city manager, effective immediately.
So moved.
All right, that was Councilwoman James. Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, I heard Councilwoman Wells. Any discussion?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Albert Barker Jr., for all your hard work that you gave here to our city. I wish you the best of luck in your next endeavors. You're probably going to go somewhere and bring your bright ideas and your motivation. So I'm sad it wasn't a fit here in our city, but I wish you the best of luck and thank you for your dedication.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman James?
Aye.
Councilman Antoine? All right.
Repeat that.
We're doing a roll call vote.
Okay.
So how do you vote, sir?
On what? Like state, what is it?
The removal mark.
Oh, no.
Okay. Councilman Gutierrez?
No.
Councilwoman Wells?
Yes.
And Councilman Mears?
Yes.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good
Everybody.
evening.